Good evening, TNT family. Want to welcome you back to Yellow is the Code on UNC USA. I have Mr. Wayne Alonso out of Toco Sandy Grande, manager for the constituency here, and we deeply appreciate him taking the time to join us and to inform and educate us. We also have Mr. Suman Singh, my friend here, and as usual, Dr. Ramrup and the others will join us when it's convenient. So, Mr. Alonso, I want to welcome you back to UNC USA Yellow is the Code program, and I would like if you can give us a little update on what's happening in your constituency. And I saw the little video here um, where how to say the guys did some cleanup. So I just wanted I saw your little video there with those guys volunteering themselves. Something that is we need to see more of our citizens doing. Taking care of the community, stepping up. These guys took the initiative. So maybe you can give us a little breakdown on what took place there and the guys.
Yeah, this is a young man that I expected that from him. And I'll tell you why. During the campaign, I met him on the Matlot River. And first time I walked that river, I was amazed at the kind of space, the scenery, the calmness of that space. I saw a number of visitors enjoying the water, sitting on the rocks, cooking their food, and there were four sheds that some of them occupied. And this young man was building a bathroom, a toilet and bath. And I asked him if he worked for the company, for the corporation, or if he was working with CPEP. He said no. He said, I'm a regular resident. I see them coming from all over the country. And when they come, they have no place to use a bathroom. They don't have a place to rest their clothes and to eat their food. So I built these four huts, and I'm building a bathroom so that they can have proper space to shower after they finish, and, to refresh and that sort of thing. So when I saw the clip, I realized that this is the same young man, Adil. That's all I know him by, Adil. And he said to me that over the weekend, there was a large influx of visitors to Matla. And because there is no CPEP crew and there is no URP crew, when he went there Monday to continue his work, he saw all this garbage strewn over. So he called his parents and some of his buddies, and they all went on their own, volunteered their time, their garbage bags, they took a barrow, and they cleaned up the space, because that's where he hang out. That is where he does his little hustle. He also does, he collects the nutmeg, and he separates the seed. There is a coating, a red coating that is around the nutmeg. He said that is high in demand. It's very nutritious, and he has found a market for it. So that is what he does. So I wasn't surprised to see it was him that gave of his time to do what he did over the weekend. I went into Port of Spain. I sent it to Akash Samaru to see whether he would have posted it live, because I think it sends a wonderful message in that while you have a majority complaining and waiting, you have that minority who is willing to do something in the meantime. And that is what he demonstrated. A love for his community, not depending on a program to do the very thing that anyone should want to do, which is cleaning the environment. So I was really impressed with what I saw.
And it's something I deeply appreciate. And when I see people doing things like that, I like to promote them and to share the idea, and that they can encourage others to do this. This is what we need people
Yep.
doing in the country, and these people as influencers, that they influence the young people in the direction. And while he might be doing that, there might be someone, like I was saying, might be able to donate some food or something while the people working out there and make their contribution that way. That the guys have something to eat. They're cleaning up the place. We could all come together and make this an event, a real nice eventful thing. That's taking place in our community. I mean that's the way I knew it when I was growing up. That people doing things, and we get together and do it together. So seeing that, I want to say hats off to the guy. And if there's any a chance of us going live with him, if you happen to be around there, you just give me a holler and we go live with him.
Oh
And
yes, oh yes, oh
yeah, yeah.
yes.
If you happen to
I
be
think he
the
was a great example.
right, right. So whether him or anybody else that's doing something, and you happen to be within your travels and you see it, I'm always ready to go live with you and highlight that person, and give them the recognition and appreciation for what they're doing. So I want to welcome Donnie Rogers. Donnie Rogers, who was able to join us for a few minutes here. So welcome, Donnie. We have Mr. Alonso here and Mr. Suman Singh. Donnie, just give us a little. We saw a little article there
Hey,
where you
Robert.
addressing the tariff.
Yeah. So good night, everyone.
Right.
Nice to be here again, and way nice to finally meet you,
Yes,
at least
yes, sir.
online.
Good to meet you.
For the
Yes,
time being.
yes.
Mr.
We
Singh.
spoke before, so that's good.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So by the morning, as the article said that I wrote, um, we will have a 15% tariff, a reciprocal tariff, for goods entering the US. Um, and owing to the conversations that I've heard from, publicly, I decided to put some research into writing this piece so that, in my opinion, a realistic position could have been delivered, right? Um, and I think, when we look at our competitiveness, and this deals with our competitiveness specifically in the area of my forte, which is agriculture. I'm not going to go into anything else. I mean, agriculture is my forte. Um, and basically, I've heard some people say, well, other countries also have tariffs, and other countries have higher tariffs. And I think that that discursive position is fundamentally flawed, and it would not give us a realistic position as to what to expect in the coming months. Because, and then again, in order to do so, you really have to get into the aggregate level and understand who are the other countries and what is their position as it relates to agricultural exports. So we have two sides. We have those who would have equal or lower tariffs to us, and those who would have higher tariffs to us. So let's deal with those who would have the lower tariffs to us. The country in the region that stands out the most, who we are most comparable to, would be the Dominican Republic. And as I said in the article, the historical context behind the DR is that they have secured markets away from us for hot peppers, where their hot peppers now go to where we used to send them to Miami and New York and stuff like that. And they have secured those markets because of two things on our side. One, the decrease in production that came up after the Caroni Green initiative was shut down, and two, our lack of competitiveness as it relates to price. We'll all agree that the US remains a price sensitive market, right? So the Dominican Republic has almost matured their foothold in the US as an agricultural exporter. They have a 10% tariff, right? Now, they have a 10% tariff, so it means that their goods now, no matter what you do, going to be cheaper. We have a 15% tariff. Now, when you have a 10% tariff, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with how the tariffs were prescribed, I'm just saying you have to go to the aggregate level in order to understand where you are exactly, in the entire geopolitical sphere. So the DR would have a 10% tariff. Their exports are quite significant when it comes to ours. And their exports have, how should I put it? If I could use the word, outplaced our exports with certain key and critical items, right? On the flip side now, let's look at countries that have larger tariffs. The one that is most comparable in the region, forget Guyana. Guyana has still only been able to achieve primary production. That is the growing of, meaning that they are not doing value addition into agricultural produce, right? You're growing legumes, you're growing rice, something like that, but there's not much value addition except to say, well, okay, the rice is bagged as parboiled rice and stuff like that. As it relates to the legumes and stuff like that, they have not really started to do value addition. So they are still on the primary level. Brazil would be the market, and Guyana, I believe, have about 45% or something like that, right? Brazil has 30%, but Brazil does not export to the US what we export. Brazil is into meat and grains and and those sorts of things. So they are not a competitor to us. So no matter what Brazil gets, it would never mean that Trinidad could now pick up the slack. There is no room for us to pick up the slack. Aside from which, Brazil's land space and area of lands under agricultural production is way more vast than the entire of Trinidad and Tobago, right? So there is no way we could compete, be it from a competitive point or a comparative point, right? And the comparative advantage that they would have is their land space, right? And owing to that, their pricing would be, their cost of production will be phenomenally low compared to us. So we have to look at how this tariff is going to affect us. 15% is significant because the US is a very price sensitive market. And what I think may happen is that agricultural exports, we will see some dips with regards to certain items. And that is in the immediate term. I think in the medium to long term, you're going to see fewer rotations of orders. So if you're accustomed, let's say a large processor who would do condiments, exporting pepper sauce, something like that, instead of maybe 12 containers for the year or 20 containers for the year, you may see a dip in those figures because now we have a 15% base tariff on the FOB price. And when you look at the FOB price being translated to a CNF price, it's not 15% anymore. It could be about 20, 22% on your CNF price. right? If you really understand how pricing is done from FOB to CNF and those kinds of things, right? So it may mean as much as 22, 23% sometimes on the CNF price for items that we would be exporting, and that is very significant. That basically puts us in a position where we really have to wait and see. And whilst we're waiting and seeing, we whilst we're waiting and seeing, we should have the realistic parameters identified to us. And once we have those realistic parameters identified, then we go on to the second part of the article that I wrote, where we have to understand how to correct it now. Now, in the correction of it, we have to increase production. We have to decrease our cost of production and those sorts of things. But what we lack in the agricultural sector locally is data and statistics, right? The last agricultural census was, I believe, um, 12 years ago, right? Now, owing to how output has decreased over the last 10 years, data that was done 12 years ago would make zero sense. You cannot rely on that data because that data would be seriously skewed if you try to use it in a present day status. All right. So we need to do an agricultural census to provide to us the parameters as to how farmers operate now. And that census must be both quantitative and qualitative. So we basically what that means, we have to know how much of what we're doing, right? But we also have to know how we're doing it. How meaning the cost of implements, the conditions under which the farmers produce, and how those things affect the cost of production. Right now, we do not have any data except individual research that maybe I would do to point in that direction. That data does not exist, right? We don't know the cost of production. So, okay, we may have 50 farmers doing milk locally, right? Each farmer will have a different cost of production for milk, all right? You think it's like that in the US and Canada and those kinds of things? It's not. Every single farmer treated as a business because the authorities or the state would have provided certain things in order to level the playing field where the cost of production can be as equal as possible to all farmers who operate at a certain level, right? So we need to understand that we need to have an understanding of that data so that proper policies and proper undertakings from the state could be engaged in to increase production optimally. And when I say optimally, you're not going to put out money and say, do create an incentive for farmers, right? If we talk about incentive, look, right now we have the the farmer's badge, and you would have incentives on your farmer's badge, right? The statistics that the Agricultural Society has is that 65% of producing farmers do not have a farmer's badge. They don't have a farmer's badge, so they cannot access the incentives from the state. And the remaining 35%, there is a significant portion of that 35% who own farmlands but are not productive farmers. So what I'm trying to say there is that you may have a little acre of land somewhere, right? You're not a farmer, but you get the incentive to buy a vehicle, or you get the incentive to buy something that you may need, right? Most times they apply for the incentives for a vehicle, which is significant, right? It's like 30% or something like that on a new vehicle, right? So once we know how to prescribe a revised policy that will get the incentives directly to farmers, we will see the farmers who really need the incentives getting it. Rather than having a system where the farmers who need the incentives are disassociated from it, right? So that is why I'm saying we need the census. The census goes across the board for every single type of farming activity, every single type of value addition activity, and we need to be able to understand our true parameters as to where we are, right? So that article was just to indicate that one, we cannot look at the reciprocal tariffs as something equitable across the board because of the historical issues with regards to exports and those sorts of things, because of the competitive and the comparative issues. We cannot look at it in that way. As I said, my position on the tariffs is that our agricultural exports are going to slow down quite a bit. Um, and on the flip side, in order to do that, we need to do an agricultural census, which will guide the government to make sure that the money really being spent properly. In layman's terms, if we are saying revenues are not where it used to be, why would we want to spend the money in a way that is not based on data and empirical evidence? Why would we want to spend money on subjectivity? Or why would we want to spend money knowing that an incentive is not going to reach to a producing farmer? You know, it reminds me of the former finance minister a couple of years ago under the former administration. He came out and he said he put in $300 million as incentives to farmers. Up till now, I don't know a farmer who received a part of the incentive. And I'm saying that as a director with the Agricultural Society. We have no information as to how that $300 million impacted positively in agriculture. Right? So unless, and I would hope that this government would not want to go down that road, right, and make these kinds of pronouncements or do these sorts of disingenuous things, we need to base it on empirical data, and we need to make sure that when we spend the money is spent in a very strategic manner that targets the producing farmers, and that in turn can reciprocate into ensuring that production increases, and production increases with um, with lower cost.
Questions, gentlemen. So, Donnie, while the guys are getting their questions or their statement together, how about us looking for new alternative markets outside of the U.S.? I mean, Europe and Middle East and different countries. And
Yeah,
that's
you
one my
see, okay,
suggestion. And then,
those opportunities exist. Huh? Let me just reply to
but have
every
we? Have
question
we?
when
I
you.
don't think we really have capitalized on it. The fact that I don't think we have really utilized in the opportunity. We may have a little, but I don't think we really capitalize it on the way we should. But go ahead.
No, but we can't, and let me tell you why we can't. Because of one reason: we are still our agricultural output levels are still 55% lower than pre-COVID levels. So our production is worse than before COVID, right? So if we don't have the volumes, how could we look for an export market? Right now,
I mean,
I
see,
mean,
I'm just saying, I'm saying in that we take, I mean, one road is blocked, you look for an alternate route, but you have to work on the other things that affect the farmers and the agricultural industry, where all the bureaucracy and all the things that where those couldn't get the food badge or the necessary credentials. And I said before here, we want those things flushed out. We want an ease of doing business for the farmer. I mean, you have identified from A to Z what the issues are. I mean, you have documentation for that, where what the issues are with the farmers, those who are not recognized but are actual farmers, and those who are recognized and not actual farmers or not producing, and they are reaping the benefits. So these are the corrupted practices that that has suffocated. I want everything that has suffocated or obstructed farmers or discouraged farmers from producing to be flushed out. Within the first year of our government, we should be working towards flushing these issues out, because we know the issues are. You have identified these issues. You have documents of the documentation where these issues exist, and these are the things that should be on the forefront, along with the infrastructural issue, where we need a bridge, the road, the
yeah,
dredging,
yeah.
the irrigation, these things have to be dealt with within the first year of our government. We have to deal with this infrastructural issue. And if it's not getting
Well,
dealt with, then we need to address it.
well, I will agree with you that the issues that need to be addressed, aside from the infrastructural issues, the systematic issues are well documented and have been presented already long ago, right? So I'm not concerned that that information has not reached where it's supposed to go. Um, but my point is, we cannot just look at increasing production to get an export market. We have a 7.1 or 7.2 billion food import bill. Why don't we increase production as a means of forex savings and let energy be the forex earner? Agriculture has the potential to become the saver of valuable forex. And let me give you an example, like I cited with the article, and I sometimes tell you guys, we could increase local milk production and save 40 million US for the year. Now we import a whole set of things, right? Almost everything we eat, we import. We are importing hundreds of thousands of pounds of tomatoes right now,
We should be
right?
grown locally.
Imagine that.
We should be grown
We are
locally.
importing tomatoes from Costa Rica, right? That means the production values in Trinidad have really not recuperated after COVID. So the first thing you have to do, and especially when you're looking at an export market, is build your competencies. And if you don't have competencies to deliver on an item that, the European market is very, very peculiar. Any export market, they would require certain criterions to be met in terms of quality and those sorts of things. Those fortes come over time. You build that operational capacity to, let's just say, in layman's terms, the perfect tomato, no blemishes on those sorts of things. Right? Those things will only come with proper crop management pest and disease management and those sorts of things, right? So it will take time to really get to that level of operations. But in the meantime, what that will do if we increase production under a strategic and sustainable plan is that it will alleviate the need for forex to be spent on things that could be produced locally. And we will be a forex saver in the interim. And I believe being a forex saver, when we are not earning the type of, of, of forex or the amount of forex that we used to, is equally critical to the conversation as earning forex, right? It is equal in levels of it being critical, right? And I don't think the conversation of saving forex should be discounted, right? I know rice farmers who can grow 80% of all the basmati rice that we currently import from Indonesia and India and things like that. Rice farmers, right now we produce probably about 2-3% of the rice we consume. Now, at the end of the day, let's be real. We don't we can't really produce all the rice, but we could produce a significant amount of it. We could probably produce about 60-65% of the rice that we consume, right? That is a forex saver right there. We could produce in excess of the milk that we consume. That's a forex saver and a forex earner. Because when you produce in excess, now you can start to export, Gary. You could process and export, right? So first you have to fix your house, because right now we are not producing enough for our consumption, and that is evident by our high food import bill. And not just a high food import bill, when you look at what we import, those things solidify my position.
But can we get that within the first year of the government, those issues flushed out so that
I
we can
think
get in on our way to what you're proposing and recommending here for us?
so. I think if someone were to really take this serious and say, yes, let us devise a strategic agricultural production plan. Um, by the end of the first year, we will see improvements. The second year, we will see a very, very notable decrease in prices that we're paying on the retail point. We will see um, a lot more economic activity in the sector. So basically, what that means, you're driving down the road, you're not going to be seeing farms abandoned. You're not going to be seeing bush where it's supposed to have plants, right? You will see the activity in crop and food production. Right now, you hardly see it, You hardly see those things, right? Um, a couple months ago in Arangwes, right before the overpass, if you're westbound, they had a nice field of pawpaw. Every morning, you're seeing the sprinklers on, man. Pawpaw watering. It's a good couple months I ain't go to Port of Spain, right? When I passed there the last time, there's a building up there right now. There's a building on the land, you know, which was one of my points that I raised in an earlier article, right? So I think if we really get serious with a sustainable strategic plan for food production, and we aggressively tackle the need to increase production, by the end of the first year, we will feel it in our pockets in a good way. we will feel the benefits in our pocket, and we will see what we will see as well, or what you should see, is processors actually becoming a little bit more stable in their ability to add value to certain things. That will now sort of push exporting on that side.
Wayne or Suman, do you want to jump in here? Wayne, how about you? What are you looking for in Toko Sandy Grande? What resources, farming resources, you can identify there that we could do, that we could focus on at this point? Is there anything that you want to suggest to Donnie? For instance, in your constituency. I think that is very rich agricultural land out there. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, in my view, out there in Toko Sandy Grande that we could focus on. So maybe you want to
Yeah.
bring something forward.
Yeah, agriculture is not my forte, but the fact that it is what the constituency has as a natural resource,
Right.
the land, the topography, we're hearing about the kind of cocoa stock that is in that constituency, all up to Matlock, Grand Riviere, coming down to Matura. Um, what I have been hearing from the farmers are two obstructions. One, the access road to get to their land, and the labor pool. Because the topography there is very hilly, it takes a lot of energy to go and work the land. And they're having a problem getting the young men out there to assist. So, in listening to those problems, the road is what the state will definitely have to consider, getting in there and giving them that kind of support. But in terms of the labor pool and taking into consideration again the layout of the land, it is one straight street from Matura straight up to Matlock that
Mhm.
has to the left the hills and to the right the ocean. So there isn't much wiggle room. And so what I did, I created a proposal to put 240 women to work. Now, this is not CPEP, it is not URP, it is not forestry. It is a support to the farmers to assist in getting their lands properly prepared, properly cleaned, properly planted, and all the resources they will need. What that will do is two things. It will assist in the cost that the farmer has to put out preparatory to realizing his crop. And it will put a lot of these women who are unemployed or underemployed back out to work. Now, I always quip that in the countryside, they don't ask for much. So a little goes a long way. So we're not talking about not even paying $200 a day. These women will be happy to receive the very wages that the CPEP and the URP people are being paid. They just want to go out there and occupy their time. But let me tell you the social part of that whole conversation. There is a growing trend of delinquency among the young people in Toko Sangre Grande, whereby the supervision is almost down to zero, because for the ones who have to leave to go to work in some of the suburban or urban areas, think about a person working in the security firm or in the restaurant business, the fast food outlet. To get to work for 8 o'clock, you have to leave home at least minimally by 6 a.m. That is the time children are still asleep. And if you're doing security, you're talking about a 12-hour shift. So you're leaving work at 6, that is providing you get relief on time to get back to Matlock, to Grand Riviere, to Lansois, to Sans Souci, to Kumana, where there is a transportation issue right now because the police is harassing the maxi taxi drivers. They're moving them around. The PTSC only has 2 trips a day, and most of them are working after hours. And so there is some serious challenges with respect to maintaining good family values, getting the opportunity for good supervision, the school, no support, no supervision, that sort of thing. So in that constituency, you got to take the work to them. There is not much room for them to come out to go to work because the cost alone of transport eats up almost two-thirds of the little income. And so there is a multiplicity of benefit to the family, to the farmers, and of course to the state. Because if you can get that kind of labor at that cheap cost, considering the communities that we're talking about, then and the production and the quality of food that could be derived from that community would be of a very high value. I think there is a benefit to everyone concerned. So that is our offering to create opportunities for women to stay closer to their home, to have an income, to say that they are employed, and the farmers benefit and everybody benefit.
But that was my objective in thought, and that's why I said we are so compatible, coming together. So I love the connection between us and you. So that is
Right.
my objective. That's what I'm looking at. So I want to redirect things. I want the transportation issue to be dealt with. I want the infrastructural issue with the roads to be dealt with the farmers, because I see this as the first line of issues that we have to deal with, where you remove those burdens from the farmers, where they have an ease of operation, and they can focus on cultivating and growing the crops and managing their business. So we eliminate that kind of a difficulty. We deal with the transport issues there also. So these are things I think we should be able to handle within our first year. So I would recommend, writing a letter to the both the transport and the Ministry of Works, addressing these, and also local government. In fact, I brought the local government minister within the group, but an official line of communication from your constituency addressing these issues, straight up.
Well, here what in listening to Wayne, you see, we have to understand that the state is not in a position to put out the kind of money that a project like this may need. So you have to be able
The
to,
infrastructural issues right now.
yeah.
The inv-
Well, I mean, to do it in its entirety.
no, I mean, well,
But
at this
at the same
addressing the
time,
issue. Go ahead, go ahead.
there is the need for jobs to stay close to home because of the infrastructural issues,
I'm going to
because of
come
the
with you on this.
systematic issues that deals with transport.
Right.
And um, about 6 years ago, I was a part of a project that Miss Jillian John would have conceptualized when she was the candidate for La Hokota Talparo, and it was Project Hope. And Project Hope brought jobs to the residents in La Hokota, agricultural jobs. It first started with and training in both the technical and the business side of things. And then it went to actual deployment where they were, producing crops, something like that. Now, just thinking out loud, it may be beneficial to the people there in the constituency, where we could look at an intervention type training, just like this, just like what happened at Project Hope, and we could get a guaranteed market for their produce. So as soon as you reap, you sell and you earn money one time. So they could start earning a salary, right? So I think that could bring some value to them, and it could start aligning the project to that of the, I mean, in the shortest space of time, aligning it to it being treated as a business entity, right? Because as I told you all, if it can't make money, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So, and that will sort of create the mindset of the people where they are, you know, they are approaching agriculture, they are approaching their livelihood, they are approaching this project from a business point of view, which will work and lend support towards it being successful. So it's a start that you could think about, Wayne, where we could do training, um, various types of training. At the same time, when training is being done, we look at what it would take to do crops to a certain volume where, where the income could actually start to pay salaries and stuff like that. And, you could have that turning over. So it could be a community project or a constituency project that people come, work, and they get paid from what is sold. So, that could be an approach that you could look at as well.
Who provides the resource to get to the point of sale? Because again,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can't get something for nothing, you know. So, I mean, that will have to come from somewhere, right? Um, I wouldn't be able to say where that will come from, but it has to come from somewhere. So, I guess that will be up to the constituency to figure that out. But that's the only way, because if we think
in terms of marketing the goods,
no, we're talking about the cost it will take to enter into production for the various items over the 3 months it takes to grow it or whatever it is. It is a cost, it is an investment cost, right? But you can't expect to earn the income and no money went out. I mean, so
don't we go? How about we identify the farmers that need that kind of assistance? Don't we have agricultural loans and stuff like that?
No, we're not talking about farmers. We are talking about treating it as a project, as a unemployment relief project. Oh God, sorry to make it URP. But
you have to get land for it, unless people have some land and they want to invest in, you assist.
No, but don't we have the property that you all wanted to do this project on?
Yeah, that's
not well. That is in one area. That is If you look again, you have to understand the layout of the coast. The coast is one lane, miles, almost 26 miles of villages. That is, on the left is the mountains and the right is the ocean. Very limited.
We're talking about the access to land. Do we have that or not to do a project like this?
Yeah, right. So if you're talking about that land that we had the conversation on, that is in Matura. You still have somebody leaving Matplat, Grand Riviere, Sans Souci, Lançois to get to that one space. So I understand that there is a challenge. But
do we have other areas we can work with?
Yeah, but let's go back to Mike's initial conversation. The government pays a salary to CPEP workers to cut grass. There is no value to the state in cutting grass. They pay that salary, and I'm saying we can repurpose that same amount of money to have a greater benefit to the state and to the people who are employed. So we're not asking for anything more. What we're saying is transfer that cost to a different purpose, which is, instead of paying them to cut grass, repurpose the activity.
So this would really, we still need the grass cut, but what I'm saying, this could be an additional project.
And it could work in tandem too, so that nobody is saying that you can't cut the grass. But do you have all those teams cutting grass? Why can't some plant? Why can't some be of a support to the farmers? Why can't some, beautify?
Right. So then we
And
expanding the
I'm
labor
talking
force
about
on this,
using
okay,
the
expanding.
same cost, repurposing the activity.
Okay,
I,
so
I, I could,
let me let me just throw something in here.
mhm.
I like to look at spending from a sustainable point of view, right? It is my personal view that CPEP under the current setting is very unsustainable,
And
right?
I
Because you're
support
paying
that.
people to cut grass, right?
I support that.
You're paying people to cut grass. People have made it a career rather than a relief project, and that is unsustainable.
I
Instead
support
of
that.
looking at it to keep them to cut grass, but also pay them to go and work in an agricultural field, we still have to keep in mind that this cannot be a career, and people would start to think about it as a career. Why not look at it as a project where people come not just to go and work for a farmer, but be the farmer? And
All
that's
that.
my point of view,
Yeah,
right?
but
It
when I
should
say
not,
so,
in
so we
my view,
identify those who have land up there, right? And we approach them, with what we think, and if they are already doing something, we see how best we can help them to produce and to expand their business, and we do whatever it is necessary to help them with the advertisement and all these kind of things that they may need some technical assistance with,
no, the
those things we
training
can
and
do.
stuff like that could be obtained. That's not difficult. I have always offered my training services free in that regard. Um, so that's not a problem to look at the training for them.
Right. So can
It's
we
just that we would need,
identify those people and try to get something going with them?
well, first, in order to really take it forward from training to deployment to them earning money, is that you need to have everything, organized. Meaning you need to have the resources, you need to have the land. So when they're trained, they actually go out and they start to become productive. So, we need to approach it very systematically. So even if you're looking at the various areas we in, um, if you have land holdings in the different areas, we could look at this being deployed throughout the constituency, in the different areas. That will definitely um, ease the burden of somebody traveling out, right? But then again, it will increase your capital expenditure, right? So one doesn't come without the other, right? So we have to keep that in mind.
And
What I want
Donnie,
to do
that's a
is
very
to
good
analyze
point
the,
you
the
just.
situation there,
That's a
where
good point you raise, eh? And I'll tell you why. Because the whole idea of the Make Work program is to get you trained to a point that the government could rest you down softly, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
between the time of preparation, growth, and harvest, that could be your period for them to release, because at the point of harvest is when they let you go. Now you are in a position to
Correct.
earn an income from the support that they gave you for whatever that period. So if you're dealing with
Hmm.
soft crops, let's say the first 6 months, we give you that support. If you're dealing with long-term crops, we give you that support. But at some point, you will know that once you get the support to monetize what we have prepared you for, is when we let you go. And I think that could
Correct.
be the model for those very programs.
Now, let me tell you one avenue, and I ain't trying to throw anybody under the bus here, but
Hmm.
remember you have the agro incentive grant of $100,000 from the Ministry of Agriculture. So why not get the land? You could have the training done. You could apply for the grant. I'm sure the ministry will look at it as a community project, right? As a community agricultural project. Um, and you can apply for the grant, liaise with the ministry, go through the process, And once you know you're getting the grant, then things could come in and start to work like that. So that is one avenue in which you could get the money. Um,
And that would be
and
per farmer,
no, it will be per project.
per project. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so you can look at it like
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So that money could create the infrastructure if it's, prepare the land, get the
Yeah, well,
seeds,
that will
get
be
the
land prep,
training
and that
done.
will spend to do everything during the 3 months, something like that.
Yeah.
So what I'm
And
looking
you
at,
can
right?
make it into a project. You could design it where probably under CPEP, they, they are paid the little CPEP salary during the 3 months. And once they harvest and sell, that is the cutoff point where they're expected to be self-sufficient
That's it.
from then on.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is where CPEP should be. It should not be a man working CPEP for 20 years
I agree. And that same approach could be applied not just in agriculture, but in every labor sector.
across the
So
board.
a guy
Correct,
could
correct,
get a
correct.
period
Across
of
the board.
training to be a carpenter, a mason, and when you are fully prepared and you are taken on by, let's say, the contractor, the government lets you go.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
become a
hmm
contractor
Yeah.
yourself.
Or you could
yeah,
become a contractor. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
So,
right.
so
this
keep
is
that
where I'm
approach in
headed.
mind. I mean, that is how I like to approach things from a sustainable point of view, where people don't use a make work program as permanent employment. That is defeating the purpose, in my view.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out to you all for consideration.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
that's
all
along
think it
the
could
line
work,
we thinking. Yeah, that's what we're thinking along the line.
This is
so
where Minister Khadijah should have been on this chat, eh? Gary?
Yeah, yeah, she's so tied up. I tried getting her, but she's on the group chat, so she knows the way along the line. So you make the
yeah,
proposal. You
so
could, you know,
um, I have to exit now. So just
yeah. But
keep
Donnie, before you
my
go, real quick, can we,
show.
how soon can we get a meeting with you and the constituents up there? Let us know so that you could deal face to face with those people and make that proposal. Let Wayne call a meeting in his constituency office. He has a nice place over there, so we could have a consultation. You throw out the idea, see where the people at, and we get a feel for what we're dealing with.
Okay, so what I'll do tomorrow, I'll call Wayne at some point in time. I have board meeting with the ASTG tomorrow. So at some point in time tomorrow, when I'm done, I'll call
Right.
you in and we'll start to
Yeah.
work on that.
But what I
Um,
what I need, let me tell you what I need, and I was telling Gary that today. We have the right mindset in the room. Yourself, Ramroop and the others who have that kind of experience. And I think what the constituency and myself and my MP need is a meeting of the mind looking at a comprehensive plan for the constituency where all those pieces could be put into one block.
Yeah, yeah,
You
we'll
specialize
get
in
to that. I
agriculture,
want to get it confirmed. Right.
huh?
I said we will get to that part. Want to get Donnie up there to focus on the agricultural part. All that will fall in. But I want to get that jump start because see we got people who needs to eat, and the sooner we get this off the ground, is the quicker we're going to reach some produce that we could be self sufficient in
oh,
that direction. That's the way I'm looking at.
get in my bag.
So
Yeah,
go ahead, Jen. You see, I'm concerned about getting the food ready for the people there. I mean, there's only so much hampers we can get, so I want to start utilizing what the resources we have up in Tokusan and Grandi, and where we start to get some production and do what is necessary. So the quicker Donnie could come up there and have a meeting with you guys, I would like to get that going.
Sure, well, tomorrow
all
I'll
right,
talk to
Danny.
Wayne and we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll go from there. But I
Right?
also have to hop off myself, guys. I have someone just came in to see me. Um, Although it should be my bedtime, but I gotta
We
go
know
and
how
have
it works.
another meeting.
Yeah,
Huh?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we know how it works,
All
Donnie.
right,
Don't worry.
guys. We'll chat.
Okay,
Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right, so we'll do this again, Gary.
Yes, we don't worry about. We here for you.
All right, Brother Singh, have a good night. Look forward to hearing from you on the next occasion.
Take care, my man. Anytime. I'm just listening, but I'll have my comments to share with you guys.
I appreciate that. I know you have a lot to say, but so we will do this another night.
Sounds good.
Okay. Gary, thanks
Always
again for the time, and we'll talk again.
good.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll catch you up in 2 minutes.
I didn't get the impression that it's early days yet, so I don't think they have identified any sort of land areas and so on in the various communities. What this guy was saying,
Yeah, but that's what I'm
eh,
trying to get done. I want
yeah,
the
that is
information and
the
verification.
first thing is like building a house. If you don't have a damn land, how what they going to start doing what?
Yeah. So
You
I
you
want
had-
I want to him to call a meeting at the constituency office
yes,
where he consults with the community there and
uh, identify
all
land.
necessary stakeholders, right? Yeah, and we throw the idea where we're thinking, right? And Donnie's physically there. When you could join them, Dr. Rambo could join them, we'll get that done. But you see, the thing about it, I'm looking at people need to eat, all right? And we have resources that we should be really starting to capitalize on quickly. If a person has a piece of land and you could give them some seeds and some direction and some instruction on how to go
But
about it, I
the,
want to get that going. If somebody
right,
needs some land and we could organize that, let's get that going. If someone has some kind of issue with sorting out with the Ministry of Agriculture, let's get that going. You know,
correct. Yeah,
so
you see, this is what Ratiram's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be making things easier for
yeah, but
farmers.
Rajiv Ram can't do everything. We are here to facilitate. Listen,
So why the fuck they put him? Why the hell they put him as a minister of agri? That's his job, Gary. He had to make the process for the
yeah, but you
people.
see, the thing about it, I'm not leaving everything
No, no,
now.
no. We're not.
If I could build a block and yeah, yeah.
We're not leaving. No, but we don't want to preempt. We can offer the suggestion. Hey, look. The northeast area.
Hey,
And we
we helping
identify the
ourselves, we
area.
helping the people. There's nothing to stop us.
You know, from what I know of how the system operates, is not exactly like that. That's my observation, having worked in these various ministries. It's everything follows a procedure. One, it has to fit into their plan. What is the Ministry of Agriculture plan? What is the short-term
Yeah, but listen
objective?
to me. We can't we can't wait for that because people need to eat and we need to get food production
Right.
going
Okay.
as quickly as
That makes
possible. So
sense.
I want to get
That
this thing off the ground, you know, off the ground.
Yeah,
We will,
that's
we will
good.
do our part. We will do our part.
We can only do what we think is right to be done. Now, if they
Well,
decide to
Mr.
follow it
Singh, hold
up,
on a
then
second.
then
We
it
offer
becomes
the we offer the guidance based on your experience and expertise
right.
and
So
Donnie's expertise, and we're giving the people the necessary advice to help themselves. Right?
yeah, well
Government
then
will fall in where government needs to fall in.
okay, if that's the approach, not a problem with
That's my
me.
approach. It's like I
Okay.
say anything
But you
about it
see,
is
I'm telling you that should be the right approach, but it doesn't work like that
well,
because
listen. When I got hungry people, it,
correct. I know. Listen,
I am not playing with that. I got people. You see what Dr. Rambo had to do today. All right, so we got mouths to feed, and I want that taken care of as quickly as possible, and I'm not playing with that. You know,
listen.
um,
we can get this started in 1 month time. If they identify land, we
Well,
could
that's what I'm
do
saying.
it both.
I want Donnie to go up there, meet with Wayne. You get the people out there, and we initiate the conversation. We show them what we're thinking about. If you have land, you need land. What land we could use, whether it's state land, we could apply for that. What is the necessary red tape? We want them things flushed
What?
out. Then the Minister of Agriculture could get involved at that point and say, well, I could help you do this or I help you do that. You know what I mean?
All right. You're on the right track. But what I'm saying is that the bureaucracy level to get state lands, it takes you 2 to 3 years to start.
Yeah, well, like I said, so these are the issues we will pinpoint it to the government. Because we in government now. We not opposition. We in government now. We party in government. We prime minister is the leader of the country. So any issues, any stumbling block, you know what I mean? We going to bring it to her attention, and she's not going to mix matters with it. You know, she's going to say fix it.
Once that can happen, Donnie did a lot of training for the Arangwes farmers last month. I don't know if you are aware of that. He did it in Davish Maharaj's office. Which was
I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying to you, we got the experts on board here.
He could do the same thing. He could do the same thing.
Ali,
yeah. I know Sarfraz.
Right.
Donnie could do the same thing for the Northeast region.
So I don't know nothing, and I'm just bringing all the people that knows everything. All right.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
I don't know nothing.
You are what's called a facilitator. You facilitate everything. You're bringing the people with the expertise to bring it in, and now we will work out the process flow, what's called the workflow, on how it's to be done.
And I think this is something we can, within a month, like you say, we can
exactly.
Let's identify what resources we have, how we could use it, what we could do, and where we need government. You see, there's a few things we have to do here. This is how I see it, right?
Tell me.
Identifying what we can do, what the people there can do, and what we need government to do, right? And all this dependency thing will flush out, and we will get productive, and we'll produce a productive TNT where everybody can eat. All right, and we don't have to worry. Food is the last thing we should be worrying about in Trinidad and Tobago.
So this is a tripartite approach. 3 people, 3 sectors: ourselves, the government, and the people.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the way I see it. That's how I set it out to be.
Yes,
I want that clarified.
So the first thing to do in a case like that, if you notice what I did, you have to identify the people. First thing, identify the people. Who is it going to take up the mantle? Next thing, you have to identify the land. So you have to identify the people, you identify the land. Then we come in now with what we can do to help them. Now, what is it we can do to help them? We provide the expertise, we provide the part funding, because Donnie is quite right. You have to put, as a potential investor, you have to put up some capital yourself. Don't expect the government to come and say, take dice P&M style of doing things.
No, Mr. Singh. Listen to me. This has several categories. We will have people who can do that. Then we have people who have nothing. So we might have somebody who have a few. Let me tell you, if you have 2 lots of land, I want to facilitate you to plant that 2 lots of land. You understand? We must create a program. We must create a program like this. It's an all-inclusive program. Whether you are a big-time farmer, a man with 2 lots of land, 1 lot of land, we want to create an educational structure. The Ministry of Agriculture we want all those issues, all the bureaucratic issues, all this bullshit flushed out, right? Within the, and listen to me, I ain't backing down. They're going to have to hate me. I am not backing down, because I didn't get into this fight because to tolerate this shit. So what I'm telling you is, They will have to hate me, but I don't care. But the thing about it is here, I want this dealt with. That's the only way we're going to get the production. And any problems I have are going straight to the Prime Minister.
Gary, that is,
All right?
you're thinking how I used to think. I used to think like that 10 and 15 years ago.
Yeah, well,
Then
I ain't taking no bullshit. This
then
is how we get it done.
I got dragged through the course trying to be proactive, trying to help people, trying to make the system work. I went through that.
We take in one constituency. And which I think is a very resourceful constituency. We have to put things together where the people get the necessary support from us for education, advice.
That's correct.
Funding will come from the government. If we could also engage the private enterprise who would say, listen, this is something I want to invest in. But we have that part. I depend on you to package it in a way together with Donnie and the guys to identify and clarify and how we go about this. And
how long you think Wayne could pull together his people?
Well, that's why I wanted to understand here tonight, and then I'm going to speak to him tomorrow, where
Right.
I want a meeting in the constituency office,
Right.
and I want Donnie to go up there, right?
All right.
And then whenever you can get up there, I want you to get up there too, and we start to get these things so they are seeing you in the flesh, and you're giving them the advice of how we could help them and how we think we could help them and what role we would play, and then we incorporate those who belong to that constituency also. So we want to engage the constituency as soon as possible because I want to get things off the ground. And like I said, we got mouths to feed.
Agreed. I agree.
All right.
Agreed 100%. But the stumbling blocks on the way because nothing has changed. You have to remember something, Gary. Systems in these ministries remain the same.
Well, this is what we depend on the government to fix, and we will identify the issues. We will identify the problem as we come along it. We will be the voice advocating.
Yeah, that's one side of it, but the identification of the issues has already been made in the manifestos. That's how they're going to break the bottleneck. But
Listen,
nothing has been implemented.
we will take up what's in the manifesto and bring it alive on this program.
But they have to do that. That is what we need to do to regenerate this thing, what we planning to do. We on the right track, but we see what the stumbling blocks are. Nothing, as I'm telling you, nothing has been implemented out of the last plans which the PNM has. Like I am going to the Ministry of Trade thing today, right? Their plans, you know what their plans are from 2021 to 2030. Why is the UNC website in the ministry still having this shit on? It should never be 2021 to 2030. That means UNC don't have a plan. Why is not the UNC plan on the UNC website, on the UNC ministry? It's been 100 days and you cannot put up your manifestos or your plans which you're planning to do. You see, this is the thing.
All right, listen to me. I can tell you. Yes, it don't matter what UNC plan, who plan it is. This is we plan. All right? Okay. We going ahead, we presenting an idea, we bring in the solution. All right? We are sorting out the solution how to go about this thing.
You will make me cuss up a minister for real.
No. Listen, we know what the issue is here, right? We're going to deal with it.
We know the issues, Gary. We know the stumbling blocks. We know what we
will deal with it. We will deal with it.
Now, you see, when you engage people, let me tell you something. When you engage people, you work them. This is what we're going to do. Now let's go to the ministry and see if we can get some funding. And when you reach that stage now, there's that a lot of bureaucratic shit going on there. So what you have worked up the people on the side, they're waiting now, and here's it. You're getting delays, not our delays.
Yeah. But listen to me. First of all, I need This is what I need to hear. I need to know who, what, who and what we have, when we're going to do it, and how are we going to do it. All of that sorted out at the constituency level. We are not focusing on country whole right now. We're going to focus.
Right. Constituency level, you go right. So far, you're good. Go ahead. Let me tell you. Go ahead.
Well, this is what I want done, and I want to know the resources we have there, whether it's the land, the people, the intellect, what they have, how we could combine between ourselves and them, and we come up with a plan of action. But I need to know, first of all, I don't know. I mean, I know the areas are a rich area for agriculture and things like that.
Rich soil, a lot of alluvial soil, which is rich, grainy, kind of gravelly soil, nice, cool soil to plant anything.
So there is no issue from that aspect of things.
No,
what we need is the administrative part to deal with. We need the bureaucratic bullshit to be dealt with, and we need to organize and structure a plan of action, meeting not just one category of people, but all. Whether you have money, you have some land, you don't have some land, we get in an all-inclusive program to work with everybody on getting this off the ground.
Nice.
That is what I want to see done. All right, that is my objective.
Okay.
And that's the way, and that is what I want to see done. And I want to see somebody try to stop me and tell me I can't do it.
All right. That is my objective as well. So we both share the same objective. But what I'm saying, trust me when I tell you this, you may not have experienced these ministers before, but
and hear what?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
No, I don't.
All right. I want you to understand I demand to deal with. I don't care.
I care from the people's perspective.
Long as we have the support of the MP there and the constituency, we're going to ride this out.
You see, when you woke up the people and say, yes, man, we're going to do this, yeah, everything okay. Now it's time to go. And you get in this bureaucratic shit from the ministry, then you will realize what I'm saying. Let's see.
Well, listen, they will have to fix. They will have to fix the bureaucratic bullshit because these are the people who came out and vote for a change, and this is their needs. This is their immediate need.
But Gary, that's what I'm telling you. They ain't started doing nothing yet, boy. They're not started doing nothing yet.
I don't care. I don't care what they start. We're going to start something. Understand this? I don't care what they start. We're going to start something.
We're doing the plan. Get the people who are interested, let it come out. Get done it to go and see.
Yeah. I'm not here to worry who has started nothing. No. I come with this team. This team is going to come up with a plan of action, right? And we're going to provide all the necessary advice. I'm confident with having Donnie Rogers and Safra Ali here because them guys are highly skilled in that aspect of things.
Yeah, right? Safra is a big gardening. Yeah, Safra is a garden next to my house. I had my house in Arang right there. I know.
Right. So these are two experts, very knowledgeable, and long as they're on board with me, I'm moving full throttle ahead, right? And we will find people in Toco Sangre Grande who are of the same, and we're going to connect the dots, and put a plan of action where everybody can be included, and then we're going forward with this thing. All right?
Right. You see what's going on right now. You understand what this guy Wayne was asking. Right now he's asking for funding. Who is going to get fund? Where people are going to get fund? And this is the same shit. You have to put up some funds from your own. Don't expect the government to come and say.
But no, listen to me. You can't be that. Unrealistic, man. Let's be realistic in this. We are dealing with people. Some people have, and some people don't have. And our government has to cater for that. That is what we are supposed to do. We are not the PNM. We are here to meet people at their level, right? We are here to meet people at their level and pull them up and put them in a place that they would say that we help them build something, right?
That's
So
all
me, I
well
don't
and
care
good.
what you have and what you have and what you forget to have. I'm giving you, I'm trying to get something where I give you a course of direction so you could help yourself. So 3 months down the line, you are asking me for a hamper, but you helping give those who I have.
That
Okay?
is that is noble. That is a good intention, Gary. I trust me. I agree with you. If I can help it, I would like to see them. We have everything this month. I'm willing to work with that more. That
But I
concept.
am dropping all the focus here, so everybody is clear on where I'm thinking, what the objective is here,
Okay. Now
and
you have to put this in in different scenarios. You have to put it in the scenario number one, scenario number two, scenario number three. When we reach this point, we have identified everything, right? How are we going to start? You need seeds, you need to seed the plant, you need these things, fertilizers, you need chemicals, you need plows to plow the
right.
land,
But
all
Mr.
these
Singh,
things.
the people will
Uh-huh.
not be standing on their own. We will be standing with them. We will bring all the
We will be
necessary
standing,
support.
we will be standing to them from the technical side because we're not there. We only advising them. They were, who is it going to do this? Who is it going to approach the minister? Is the minister still going to talk to the minister of agriculture and say,
They
hey,
have the MP. We are presenting all the solutions and recommendations to the MP. The MP is on board with this. All right? The MP has to be on board with this. So I'm telling you is we are not going on this thing blindly. This is something we are putting together for the constituency. It will be ratified. The MP will take it forward into the parliament. He will take it in forward, I mean, with the cabinet, I mean, and they
so
will discuss it on that end. But
yeah,
all I'm saying to you is we have to put all the recommendations. We MP, this team, the MP cannot do this. All right, we have to put everything together for him. We have to identify all the resources, all the issues, and that he
takes it
addresses
from
it.
there, he takes it from that point.
Yeah. All
Will
right.
will he take it from that point after we
What
have identified?
What you mean? Will he take it? What do you
Huh?
mean? You guessing?
What's that?
You still like you're guessing, man. You still don't understand what we're dealing with here. Yeah.
I say,
So
will still be taking it now after we have
we are
identified
we are
everything,
we
and
are presenting everything to him, right?
he will run it with it there. He will he will run with it in Parliament and make sure the farmers get support from the Minister of Agriculture and Rural
Listen,
Development and so on.
listen to me, man. I can tell you, this is his constituency manager, right? He it will advise him on everything. He's on our chat group. He knows what we are thinking. You put the recommendation there. So we are building out all this stuff for the MP, right? At his constituency, right?
But
And we're
if
here to support him and stand alongside him
I
to make sure
understand,
this thing
right,
succeed.
good.
So
This is good intention. I will applaud anything like this because if you could get the agriculture side going, your next step is to put up the plan which I put for them
well,
is to
listen, the
implement that.
official presentation, all right, where the MP will take it to cabinet, right, on what
That
we
is
have,
that is
right.
for
But what I'm saying to you is the Minister of Agriculture is also placed in the group, right, and uh, and I mean we talk to each other quite often, in messages, not in phone call. We exchange a lot of time. So I want, like I said, I want to present a very structured plan of action, an all-inclusive
sure.
plan of action,
That is what.
where an all-inclusive plan of action, because we are people of different levels, right, of economic situation. So this is an opportunity for all. Whether you have some land, whether you don't have some land, and you want to participate to help yourself, we're giving them the whole deal, right? The whole package, so that everyone can benefit from this plan of action. Okay, and this is on the agricultural aspect of things. Now we have other categories of things that I told you that we will be working on, but this is just the agriculture part of it, right?
Yes,
So this is just
but
the agricultural part of the plan
because
of action.
the next thing and what could be done concurrently with the agriculture is to get the tourism shit get going as well. So you start to involve a lot of different people into this thing.
Well, like I said, the first option here is engaging the constituency,
Yes,
right?
this is
So
what
just like
gets.
how we do in the Sanyagong consultation, this consultation will take place, has to take place at least once a month within the constituency there where they engage. But like I said, I need people there who will physically go there, and I know Donnie will. And when you get a chance, you will do it when you can. So you make an introduction in a meeting where you have enough people, so you don't have to make several trips, and then they know who is working with them remotely to get an understanding of what we're heading at, and then we take it from there.
That's all well and good. We have to identify a lot of things with that now, but time
Yes,
frames.
we have work to do. We have work to do, but I want to
Because
get it go off the ground.
yes, yes, I agree with you so far. I agree with we should get this thing within a month or two if possible.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we had, let's say,
No,
we
no.
late.
Before I forget, I want to say condolences to Senator Timal
Well, yes,
family.
today
You
was the
know,
cremation. Today was the
today was today was the funeral. I know a lot of dignitaries of on both sides were there. I saw him in the Nagar there with the cultural things. Yeah, I mean he made a very good presentation. You know, on that. So with that, I want to say condolences to his family. Um, you know,
I, I guess I'm the only person who have never been to the Nagar yet. Everybody I've spoken have been there except me.
I think I passed through 1 year. Uh, I did not really understand the whole structure of things, but I was there 1 year. I can't remember
Yeah,
what
I think
207 or something like that.
what I saw on first pick is all I remember. But did they ever have Stuart Young do a final presentation last year at the Nagar?
I don't care, and I really don't want to start talking as a relevant person to
No,
me.
they
I
say
am just happy he's
I,
out of government.
I want I wanted to know, because when Kamala tried to speak, they shut off all TTT and everybody, no coverage, no volume, no mic, nothing. You couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah, I remember. I remember there's an issue, but you know the thing about it is, Kamala is prime minister.
Correct, correct.
All
That's
right,
what I want to know.
Kamala is prime
So
minister, and all the nastiness they do, Kamala is in charge.
they have to swallow that.
Yeah, welcome Nadira, uh, Lindsay. Lindsay, you guys gotta join me on this program one day, and say something, man. Come on, you know.
Let them come on now. Let them come on now. One time.
The, you
Right
know,
away. What's going
Lindsay and Nadira, well, you guys, come on. I need some of you guys to come and voice your opinion here. You don't
what's
have to
going
go on camera. You could come
what's
on
going on?
anonymously.
Tell us what's going on in Trinidad right now.
Yeah, we need, bro. We need to hear from you guys, man. Come on, we need to hear from you guys. I need some feedback from the people in the
Because
country.
we can only speak what we read in the news, and half of the things we read in the news are not true in any case. So please let us know what is your opinion on things.
And this is the young lady who got swept away from the flood.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes,
you
yes.
know,
Sad,
uh,
sad, 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 sad.
Yeah, so again, condolence to those family. We want to see something's put in place here, so that the response is more effective in saving lives. These are some of the things that we're trying to put together. You know,
Yep,
um,
that's
and
2%.
we have a missing young lady here, and
Princess
in
Town.
the Princess Tongue area. And we have too many. I find, I mean, this is something that's happening a little too frequently for my liking. Every time you turn around, is somebody missing. There was some other pictures here. I think I had to get it on here. Let me see if I could find it. Some other missing people here that I want to highlight. Yeah, we have another young lady here. I have a gentleman here. Let me see here. There's
Who, the
another
guy
guy
who
here.
puts out these things missing, please share. Who does that? TTPS or
Well, we
the
have the
parents?
TTPS
Or
has one. Look, I have one from the TTPS here. Right, and then some people, this one is from the Police is Seeking Public Health to find missing Maya Roman here. We have a young lady here. Hunter Search and Rescue is doing that also.
True, man.
Um,
So many
so
people.
So I mean, listen, these criminals are bold faced, right? And organizing community resilience. We need to get ourselves together. We need that structure and support from the TTPS. We need the counselors, involved and MPs to kind of help put this community. Community policing cannot be where you put a few officers from the municipality and call it community policing.
No,
We need an all inclusive plan of action. I caught a little bit of Dr. Munilal's discussion.
FPL. Yeah,
Yeah,
FPL.
and concern of where and what you can do and what. But the thing about it is here is if we increase the patrol, right, which should be a combination of citizenry, the police, regiment where necessary, the defense force where necessary. But we have to maintain that consistency so that we do not get ambushed. We are consistently getting ambushed because we are not investing and structuring ourselves, and working with each other in a way that we can improve the. Forget the PN, and PN never supported this because they encourage the mess, right? So we have a lot of restructuring to do, but I want to say our people, our councillors, our MPs start to work with their community, putting these things into, they can't wait on Roger Alexander and Wayne Stokes to put everything together for you. You have to start some things in the community. And we need also the collaboration from those in charge and in authority to work with those who are trying in those various communities, whether it's a street organized thing or entire community thing. We want to see that built so we can get a handle on this nonsense that's taking place in the community. Yeah. Any incident happen, somebody must see, and somebody must be in place to help us find, those perpetrators, or they try attempt to kidnap anybody. We should be able to respond effectively. We should be able to respond if there is a medical emergency, or if there's a person drowning caught in water. There should be resources there to assist within the range of the vicinity. There must be people there to respond. We have to organize ourselves. This kind of half-hearted way of doing things, ain't flying too nice with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't think it's flying nice with anybody because there's still
yeah, how we just say dokedam.
Dokidam, yeah,
Yeah,
Dokidam approach to everything now,
yeah,
right?
puhar. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
we
But
don't want to see that kind of nonsense.
too many people missing, man. Too many people.
Mm,
Too many people.
yeah.
So
Anyway, good night, everybody. Let's see. Anything else, Mr. Singh? I saw.
no, that'll be off for a while, about a month or so. But if there's anything urgent, that just
Hold on a second. What's this, Mr. Singh? Look at this here. Yeah, so that's Edinburgh Gardens area.
Yeah, they're hiding their face with the umbrella, and
Yeah, yeah.
they're reaching
Knocking
up.
on the door.
That is my problem. Oh my me, I had to put it up in my electricity pole. Where else can you put if you have a flat house, right? Where can you think you could put a camera?
Well, you have to put more than one place. You know, you have to put on the
But
roof. You
where
have to put, and then
anywhere,
there's solar. There's solar also. You can add a solar with a wire. You know, they sell it on Amazon and stuff like that. Buy the solar supported
yeah,
camera.
but where you putting up, when your house is 10 feet or 12 feet tall, they will
Yeah, you
guys
have to put it on a higher pole. Yeah,
they will have to they take a bamboo stick and break it, cover it or pinch it or something
yeah,
like that. You have to put
yeah,
it in a freaking tree on top, a big
yeah,
coconut tree or something like that. How the
yeah,
heck you can't have a flat house and expect to put cameras? No way that will work because
yeah.
with a little stick you can reach it.
Well, you have to have the external perimeter ones before you reach the ones in the house. So you have to be able to pick them up before they reach that part of the house.
All right,
You know.
so the best thing to put it on the light pole, the electricity pole.
You know.
Or if I have an electric pole in my yard, so my personal pole. So
Yeah,
you
or a
put
mango
it,
tree or something, you know.
or the coconut tree.
But
I think,
you use those solar energy wireless ones to do that, you know.
yeah, so you have to run the wires and so on. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is ridiculous. But seeing what the guy just did there, he can target any flat house for that chair.
Mr. Singh, they climbing on top of each other if they have to. Some of them are so athletic, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
run up
yeah,
the wall. They run up the wall,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you know.
Then you have to invest in your dogs. No,
You have to invest in every possible thing to protect yourself.
yeah.
Everything. It cannot be one thing, you know. So,
They're
that's
getting
it.
too brazen, too
It's
brazen.
getting it has gone way beyond that you think it is, you know. So,
Yeah, and that's why I'm a little peeved about the whole crime plan situation, because I was saying that they should have had the crime plan before entering government.
but Mr. Singh, the way I see it, right?
Uh,
I mean, come on, man. Basically, it is damn common sense of what
yeah,
we have to do. First of all, we have to fix. You know, it's too much a Hollywood drama kind of a style of thing.
you
You know,
see, it's called sensationalism, boy. They're trying to get the
right?
same.
I mean, the basic things we need is damn police patrolling. It's like one person talking Munilal meeting. The police come and ram some ticket and then they gone. We need some consistency with the management of the police patrolling. We need that effective response. These are basic things that they could fix.
So you see,
In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead.
you don't have to have no crime plan to do that. You know off the top of your head. You
A
being a
common sense
policeman,
plan, man. The
common
police should
sense,
have that damn thing.
and this get the common sense approach going initially while you're restructuring in the background. You know what I mean? So front and center in the face, in the criminal face, in front and center right now. And then you work in the background to get your plans, whatever you want to do. But just don't wait. When, like everybody is asking the question, when is a crime plan? Don't wait for no crime plan. You know what the heck you have to do, right? If the crime plan takes time, so be it. Let it take its time. But you know what you have to do at this point in time. You know, and this is what I think some people are right to be chastising the TTPS to an extent. They should know, or they should have known what they were walking into, the gravity of the crime situation, right? And don't wait to do a crime plan to try to alleviate this. Get with the short-term methods to do what you have to do now. Let the crime plan follow over
The police commissioner has to fix the management and supervision of his troops. All right. You cannot be. Oh, well, I think he said this SOE wasn't about murders and this like that. Well, give me a break.
You see,
All right.
this is the same pain and crap that you go walking into. You know, we had
All
a
right.
focus. This SOE was a focus SOE. It was there for the criminals targeting, you
So
know,
what? So what is
magistration
preventing the
judgment.
police? What is preventing you from mobilizing your force to patrol? We're not still not doing the patrols in the way that we need it. All right, we still have not connecting. We have to connect with the various communities and get the councillors and MPs on board, where we show the citizens how they can factor in. This is not and self-defense. I want people to understand it's not lynching people. If you capture somebody, you restrain them, and you're able to restrain them, you call the police. You don't have to keep beating them like I seen one video there. You keep beating the man and beating the man until I mean, wait, like you're trying to make mincemeat out of him. That is not the way to go. That is not self-defense. We must not encourage that. A neighborhood patrol is not vigilantism.
Right.
Don't get that. The PNM would like to spin that we're talking about vigilantes and we all there to sling up people and all this kind of thing. If you are able to contain somebody, you call the police and let the police deal with them from there. You don't keep assaulting and beating the person and this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like that.
that's law.
All right?
That's law. You're supposed
No,
to.
you use the necessary force to stop them if they're coming at you. If they
Yes.
get killed, then the law protects you on that. That's what they're trying to say. But the thing about it is, you use enough force to stop them.
The
After
existing
you
law.
stop them,
Yeah.
after you stop them, you stop. Okay.
Yes.
So we have to talk some more about this stand your ground law thing
Yeah.
tomorrow. Are you available tomorrow or not?
No. This is our
All right then.
last night on this.
All right. So
In tomorrow evening.
right. So any kind of thing you want to say last words before we close up?
Well, I wish the group best of luck. I have not left the group, so don't get me wrong. I'm there to still make my contribution. That's why I did the tourism aspect. I wanted to do this personally. So when the agriculture thing gets started and that is off the ground, let them know we continue as an extension of this agriculture project is the tourism project, because at the end of the day, we want to create employment for just about everybody in the community. Yeah? The old, women, single mothers, young men, youths, everybody will get a chance, a fair chance of getting some form of employment rather than just be waiting on the state for 10 days and this sort of thing. It's sustainable employment we after. So with agriculture plot holdings, with the tourism, community-based tourism structure, and the inputs that will be required, the small business, little business sector as well. Or, like the Northeast, whenever I go down to that area, Gary, I can tell them Matlots, Grand River, because I went to distribute computers from the laptop project in Matlot Government School, and I had to cross the river there. We end up making a cook in the evening after we finish, right by the river there. Boy, you can't imagine how nice that area is. You get that sea breeze coming through the river channel, right through and so on. Anyway, it's a nice, very rich soil, very nice foliage, nice trekking area, like Shark River and so on. You could do your treks, groups going on little hikes and so on. Especially weekenders, people will come there. Let's say I'm living down south, Sipario or Avon or something. I want to go and spend a weekend up in that vicinity. Take your family, rent a nice little home, huts or beach house or something. And then you go there with a group, you buy things, you eat, you dine, you enjoy the local ambience and so on. So all these things can happen. It's not just talk, but you need to have an approach, a structured approach. How you're going to do this thing? Who is going to provide seed capital? How is this thing going to be distributed? If you notice in my stuff which I sent you, I'm looking a lot more on cooperatives. So in the cooperative structure, everybody or most people can be part of the process in their community. So there are no really outsiders. What are the guys who sell honey side the road? When I go down that side, I must buy a bunch of coconut from Dong Toko or Sanssouci along there. You see, when people are leaving on a Sunday, they want something to bring back, you know. They're not only going to drink and lime and so on. They want to enjoy the ambience, the scenery, the fresh mountain air, or the fresh sea breeze or something like that, right? And you're looking to buy something and bring it home with you, some cocoa balls, or if you go down like Brasso Seco and you see a lot of these, what they call this thing they put in fried rice. Well, they call it chayote here in Miami, but that's the Spanish name. I don't know how there is an English name to it. We call it back home. I can't, it slips me at this point. But it's called chayote. Yeah, use it a lot in chow mein and so on. So, I mean, they have natural rivers, natural vegetation, that sea breeze, the mountain air. It is something to behold. And we can make this a viable industry, even for Trinidadians to come and enjoy there. You know, not because you're in Trinidad means you can't enjoy your tourism in your island, you know. Staycation is a big thing. Staycation means vacation home. You don't need foreign exchange for that. You know, and all whatever money is earned is generated in the community itself. So that's what I'm saying. You know, if you're planting for the farmers who plant things, you bet you can even make your market there one time on the weekend when you're coming back home. If there is sufficient tomato or whatever, they plant bodi or pak choy or whatever is being grown in the area. So it's a very exciting project. I'm excited about it. I see the various linkages among the other sectors, other ministries. I see the wide cross-section of people that can be employed, you know, and at the same time reduce the dependence on the URP and CPEP gangs. So that's what I hope will happen in the short term, in the very short term.
The FBI reported today that
within a month or two, I would like to see at least we have the strategy and the plan to present, or will already be on the MP's desk, so he can take it forward and drive the process. That's what I like to see.
Look at this video for a second here.
the FBI reported today that crime in this country is falling in every major category, including murder. Nationwide last year, violent crime fell 4.5%. Murder alone was down 15%. It's even down in Chicago, a city whose weekend gun death count often led the national news. Usher Qureshi is there tonight. And Usher, what is behind these numbers?
Well, Maurice, as you mentioned, Chicago has had violent stretches, including during the pandemic. But as we learned from the police superintendent today, like many cities across the country, if you look closely at the crime numbers, there is reason to be optimistic.
I think we're really on to something.
Jashawn Hill runs Chicago Survivors, a group that counsels families of homicide victims. At the height of the pandemic in 2021, her nonprofit was operating in a city where more than 800 people were murdered.
I don't have the same sense of anxiety about how many homicides they're going to have this weekend.
Now, murders in Chicago have fallen more than 30% from the same time last year. Homicides have also dropped significantly in major cities such as Philadelphia and Los Angeles.
As far as violent crime is concerned, do you feel like you're seeing that drop?
We've seen it in the lane of homicide, for sure.
It's not just homicides. The FBI says robberies decreased by nearly 9% and auto theft dropped by more than 18%.
We keep the city as safe as possible.
As for the why, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling told us better relations between his cops and the community, along with expanded camera and surveillance technology, have helped his officers on the beat.
Gathering video footage helps us identify those who have offended. It helps us identify vehicles that may have been used in a particular crime.
What do you think is driving that drop in crime?
We have people who are more willing to give us information now than we've had in the past, and it's been truly helpful.
There's still a disconnect among people who live here about whether crime is going down.
Why do you think that perception exists amongst people who live here even?
I think we, as a city, have to do a much better job of communicating that out. And then high visibility, especially from our officers, making sure that our officers are out there walking and talking with community members so that they understand that we're right there with them.
In Chicago so far this year, more than 1,000 people have been shot. There have been 240 homicides. Still, Snelling says his officers feel confident the tide is turning.
Morale rises. Officers feel much better about their jobs. They feel much better about what they're doing, and they communicate a lot better.
So, Usher, beyond Chicago, why is crime down nationwide?
Well, we asked the FBI that exact question. They say it would be difficult, if not impossible, to give a reason that would be universal across the country. They say every department would have a different answer as to why these numbers are dropping.
Good to get good news here tonight. Is there anything concerning in the FBI report?
Right. Well, we're seeing positive trends in terms of these drops across the board. During a 3-year period, there was an increase in the number of police officers shot in the line of duty, Maurice.
Okay, Usher Qureshi in Chicago tonight. Thank you.
But when we talk about these things, surveillance, cameras, information, these are the three things these are
building community relations, making that connection, police engaging the community. Is there rocket science?
You see, this is the thing. And people are right to be feeling this way. I agree with the people at this time around, because it's taking a long time, much too long. You know, it's 100 days, but they should have a plan to arrest this thing right away before they came in the government. So that's one big drawback. That particular ministry there is a big drawback for not being proactive and pick that low-hanging fruit all along. Community involvement, they identify that. They identify the cameras and surveillance. But we speak about that from day one. We've been telling them that. Didn't we? Surveillance.
I strongly believe that the local police station should be hooked up like this, because you can monitor the entire country with one base structure like this. The local police station has to have these cameras and set up systems like that.
Yes, correct. Or let it flow through one agency or something like that.
Yeah, you know, what I'm saying to you, each police station, maybe we start up with a regional, but you see, you have to have, because there's so much to monitor, so you
correct. And there is a lot
area that you can monitor the whole country with this one system like this.
No, you can't. Right? You cannot
so
do that.
Each vicinity in a jurisdiction has to have this kind of setup.
Yes.
We need it in the police cars. You know, the real-time video being fed to the system here. The police is engaging in some kind of hostile action. It's being captured from their car while they engage in, so the car becomes a sub-base. And, because things happen so quick, and bullets starts to fly, every second.
There's no dodging. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's it for your life.
Yeah, so, so this is something, anyway, this information was sent to where, so.
That's right.
So.
I saw it. I saw it, and I was shocked when I heard it, but crime has been down in Chicago of all places. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
look
they
at
see how
the
they see how they talk about how they're doing it. So
this
we have to get our
and
act together. It's not rocket science.
this is the point. They talk about the three things: data, surveillance, and community involvement.
Yeah.
So shouldn't our government know that before going into things? Well, pick the damn low hanging fruits, man, and wait to do what is taking all this time to do this first three things. You know, what is taking there? Where is the bottlenecking? And crime is one of the big issues. Let's not fool ourselves.
And it cannot be a one-man operation. It cannot be a police operation alone.
Correct.
All right.
It's
It has to be a
remember.
whole
You see,
country approach to it.
the whole crime fighting business is based on technology. That's why they're talking surveillance. That's why they're talking data. That's why they're talking information. But you get it from other than technology. You could still get the information and data from. So what's causing you not to act? That means you didn't have nothing in place, at least for the past 10 years, nothing in place to track these things or to get information. They're same old, man. Come on. Anyway, I like to wrap this at this point, Gary, and good luck
Yeah.
on the future success of the program and so on. I'll be out for a while, and any little thing I can text me, send me a WhatsApp or something, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we will remain engaged. I mean, you already know what the agenda is.
right,
You know,
and that's why I did what at least that part fully done. The whole tourism thing in for the
right.
northeast.
But also the agricultural team would need your a little support there.
Yeah, the economic side. That's why I didn't say that. I wanted Donnie to speak a lot, and I agree with
Yeah.
him.
But what I'm saying, we will talk on the phone and try to sort these things out.
Yeah, why not?
And your advice, and you're in the group, so we'll continue discussion. You may not be able to come on the program because you have things going on, but
Yeah,
whenever you
Lord,
could jump in,
at
jump
least
in.
a lot of things for the next 2 months or so, and after that, when I'm more settled now, I'll
Yeah.
be in a good
Right.
space to hit you every day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But that, yeah, I like to see that little time out, and all the best going forward.
all right then, we'll talk.
Take care.
Thank you.
Right.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you again for taking the time to join us tonight. See you tomorrow night.